every opportunity presented to it towards executing its mandate, plans, programs, and ensuring peace and security for the good people of Ghana. I therefore want to appeal to all Ghanaians to continue to cherish this identity and not to do anything to detract from this path we have taken for ourselves and posterity. I want to remind myself and all Ghanaians the provision of the Vigilantism and Related Offences Act 2019, Act 999, that all of us needs to be mindful about the activities of vigilantism. And I can assure you that not my party, not any group will we sit and allow to see the resurgence of vigilantism. I have spoken to the IGP family on all the, happenings of Ablekuma. The videos have been forwarded to him. We've instructed him to act swiftly, bring the perpetrators to book. We are not going to condone whether people within our party or outside our party into going around doing anything untoward. We can assure the public that we will ensure, under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, no such group will be allowed to form. Ladies and gentlemen, peace and security are paramount in the development of any nation. It is therefore our collective responsibility as Ghanaians to actively contribute our quota in ensuring that we live peacefully with each other, regardless of gender, religion, ethnic origin, or economic or social status. On this note, Honorable Minister, I wish to thank you for this opportunity to assure the people of this country that as a ministry, we shall remain committed to this cause. Once again, I wish to extend my sincere appreciation to you for hosting us and providing us a platform for the ministry to share its programs and achievement with the people of our country. We thank you so much. May God continue to bless our country and continue to bless our government. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that comprehensive brief. I believe you've touched on all the important matters that fall under your purview. One thing that I took particular note of was the reforms that you are introducing in the country's prisons regarding their ability to participate in some of the interventions that His Excellency President Mahama has introduced. Of importance to me is the 20% allocation that you are seeking for them in the manufacturing of sanitary pads, even as government rolls out the free sanitary pad initiative. You also mentioned that up to 30% of school desks and school uniforms will be produced in the prisons. This would significantly enhance the various interventions that are ongoing, and also ensure that our inmates, even as they go through reformation, contribute their quota towards national development. And it will also bring down the cost of producing these items, which will then impact on government's budget overall. Thank you very much for that briefing. Now, the stage is set for questions to be taken from members of the media present. In the interest of time, I would ask that if you have any question, you line up to my left. And when the opportunity is given you, you quickly introduce yourself and go straight to the question. Because of time constraints, you will be limited to only one question, except you are going to announce an earthquake. So please identify yourself, ask your question, and then allow your colleague to take his or her turn. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Minister. Minister, you made mention about the fact that the government will not count on us. Sorry, my name is Abdul Hanan Adam. I work with the EIB network. Minister, you made mention about the fact that the government will not countenance any act of electoral violence as enshrined under the Vigilantism Act. But I wish to ask that the police officer who assaulted my colleague at the Ablekuma North by-election has been interdicted. After the interdiction, what's next? And secondly, how far...
I said one question, but I would allow you.
Yes. So secondly, how far with the president's directive that the IGP should submit a report concerning election-related violence between 2020 and 2024? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Kamala, your turn.
Komla Kluche, I work at TV3. So my question ties a little bit into what the previous one is asked. But Ghana, like it did indicate, we witnessed, for want of a better word, if not the worst, one of the most embarrassing spectacles of electoral violence just less than about 72 hours ago. Somewhere in January, the president was very clear in his marching orders to the IGP, then Dr. Dampari, and now Mr. Christian Tete Yohonu, on what exactly he expects of them regarding a report from 2020 to 2024 on the violence that has been recorded. Now, we have not seen anything close to a report for the past 7 months till now. That's most unacceptable. Now, here is the situation where we have thugs who have stormed the polling station. They have been captured in a video and also in still headbutting a female for that matter. Now, it's unacceptable that after 72 hours, we do not have any arrest of the sort of those individuals. That can also not form part of a resetting agenda. We need to depart from it. Now, the question is, many of the critics of this administration have clearly indicated that there's absolutely no difference between you and the then administration. When do we get to see some form of arrest, irrespective of what he's indicated that they will not countenance? And then again, what's the state of the small arms bill?
Okay, but keep the questions short and concise, so we may leave it. Please step forward and ask your question.
My question is his last question.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
I am Akwatia. I work with City FM ChannelOne TV. My first question is, following what happened at Ablekuma, we have Akwatia by-election coming up. What is the assurance that what happened at Ablekuma is not going to repeat? And secondly, one of the directives given by President John Mahama, in fact, in his early days, was after the Kantamanto fire incident. He asked that the Ghana Police Service increases patrol in our market spaces. I want to find out what has been the update with that. Has there been any patrol? Has there been any surveillance at our market squares to ensure what happened is not repeated?
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, Max. So we'll take 5 questions in this segment and then come back when the minister has answered them.
Okay, good morning. My name is Maxwell Agbagba. I work with Joy FM and Enjoy News. We've seen reports making the round on social media suggesting the resurgence of the Boko conflict. I've seen a statement from the Boko Central Member of Parliament talking about the destruction of a statue, also about some military brutalities, also about the shooting of a bus under a military escort. Over the weekend, and I think sometime yesterday, I also saw a statement from the Defense Minister urging residents to exercise restraint. I've not seen any statement from the Ghana Police Service giving us details on what is happening. I want to find out from the Minister, do we have a resurgence of the Boko conflict? Do we have reported loss of lives? What is the latest update? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. The Minister would answer these questions, after which another round of questions will be taken. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Thank you very much for your questions. Yes, I must say that, like you rightly mentioned, that the police officer that did the assault, you saw swift action. What is next? Obviously, the police administration has rules. When an officer, for lack of better word, misbehaves, the first thing is interdiction. Then the person is given an opportunity to defend himself or herself before what they call the police standard bureau, where the professional standard bureau, where the person appears. So that will be the next thing. Obviously, the officer will appear before the police, professional standard bureau, where the person will be given an opportunity to be heard. And definitely the videos and all of that will play. Someone will say, and then that drifts into the second part. Why up to about 72 hours, we've not seen any swift action with regards to the other, unfortunate incident. Let me say that we condemn this in no uncertain terms. I mean, that's, for me, it's a scar on all of us' conscience that as people, having practiced democracy for over 3 decades, we cannot simply just go and have election and it will be violent-free. That is something that all of us, in my view, especially those of us in politics, should be very concerned and very worried about. But there's a difference. The huge difference is that, check and see, almost all of us at the top have condemned this. In the past, you will not get that. The vice president has done that. I mean, the president is out of the country, so currently the vice president is leading us, and she condemned it in no uncertain terms. She instructed. I mean, she called me, I told her, Madam, I've already instructed the IGP, and the IGP is sitting here. He will show you. If you could even come to my phone, you'll see. That same day, I forwarded all the videos that I had, and I asked, IG, what are you doing about it? I said, look, we have to review the cameras. We have to look at it from all the angles. He has sent the, the crime scene guys there. The ICT guys are all working to make sure that we get it. But remember, that officer is somebody that we know, because he has a number, he has a name, we know where he is, we know where we station him. We can easily go after him. But these are guys who commit this sin, and they vanish from the system. But we have to, it take time to track them. But assurance is that we are not going to allow this to go unpunished. Unless they flee the country. So long as they are around, they should be rest assured. They will have to, the law will have to take its course. Because we cannot allow this to happen in our country. And you can be rest assured that, and I trust in the professionalism of the IGP and his team, that they are going to do a good job. So be rest assured that will be done. The other question you asked was City FM Akwatia by-election. Yes. I know the challenge, people will say, coming events cast its shadow. If we can go to only 19 polling stations, this will happen. What will happen when we go to some of the rural places? Well, the interesting thing is that I'm sure this is also a wake-up call for our security agencies to know that if maybe probably what happened could, maybe you could say that it was not an organized thing, it was a spontaneous thing. Whether it was organized, whether it was spontaneous, this gives our security agencies the opportunity to even plan better towards Akwatia. All I can assure the people of Akwatia is that we will use Ablekuma as a case study to review our operational, how we operate in Akwatia, to make sure that the citizens are free to cast their vote and express their will without fear or favor. And for all the groups, whether you are in the NDC, whether you are in the MPP, whether you are independent, let me remind you of the Vigilante Act, what it says. Minister, with your permission, I'll just read. And it says, that's section 6 of the Act says, a political party shall not directly or indirectly form, organize, operate, or engage, or facilitate the formation, organization, operation, or activity of a vigilante group, whether belonging to that political party or any other political party. A political party that contravenes Section 1 commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of not less than 10,000 penalty units and not more than 25,000 penalty units. That's to the political party. Whereas a political party convicted under Section 2 fails to pay the penalty imposed, the national chairman, the general secretary, the national organizer, and the national treasurer of that political party are severally liable to a fine of not more than 10,000 penalty units or to a term of imprisonment of not less than 10 years and not more than 15 years. So I want to remind all of us, including myself, that if anybody organizes this, this is what awaits you. And I believe in the professionalism of the IGP, COP, Christian Tetayano, that he is not going to spare any person.